Welcome to the Schnitzel Show, recorded in Franconia and inspired by the world. A place for big questions, strange journeys, unexpected turns, and occasional attempt to make sense of it all. This conversation isn't about results, it's about everything that happens in between. Stasa Gejo, originally from Niš, Serbia, is a former IFSC World Cup competitor, a bouldering specialist, and a viola player. Yes, the big violin-looking instrument called brace in German. Her journey has taken her from Serbia to Slovenia, where she moved at 16 to combine school with pursuing climbing at a higher level, and eventually to Nuremberg and the limestone cliffs of the Franconian Forest. We talk about what it's like to grow up in elite sport, chase big goals, move countries, and eventually discover that climbing is only part of the story. Along the way, Stasa shares the lessons that stuck with her, and the things that concern her as she watches the next generation come up. From the physical demands placed on young athletes to the pressure of early specialization and the rise of gym-focused climbing, we explore how the sport is changing and what coaches, parents, and young climbers might want to keep in mind. Stasa brings a thoughtful and honest perspective on the choices athletes make, the environments they grow in, and the balance between performance and a lifelong relationship with climbing. From competition walls to limestone cliffs, Stasa's story is about the routes we climb, the choices we make, and the path we find along the way. We are in E4 in the children's room, trying to
birthday room.
Oh, sorry, it's a birthday room.
Yeah.
Trying to make the most out of it. Thanks for making it happen. I know it's been a bit complicated for both of us in a way with our time schedules.
Yeah, exactly. Both work and both have other things in life, and then
there's no time. And if you don't get paid for it, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You just go like, why should I even meet?
Oh, well, why not?
Hey, you've had quite a layered life. I mean, elite climbing, studying and working together, and moving between different environments. And I guess I'm less interested in the results about your climbing career or your competition career, whatever you want to call it, and more in how that actually feels from the inside. So it's like a little bit more reflective today. Well,
psychotherapy session.
It's not. The couch is in the back. But when you look back at the time when you did kind of work, study, and climb competitions, how did you manage your schedule? How was it? How did it feel like? I mean,
looking back, now that I have a full-time job, or some would argue it's still not full-time because it's 35 hours and not 40. I feel like I was more flexible when I studied, and I had more time for training actually than I have now. Now I'm basically forced to train after work in the afternoon when it's really full, and when everybody climbs and when it's hot, and when I'm tired from work. And when I studied, I could train midday, morning, whenever my schedule allowed. I could do multiple sessions, and I just adapted studying to my training. But I didn't work while I studied, comparing to all of my colleagues, at least at the master's program. Everyone else worked as a working student in a company somewhere. I think I was the only one who didn't work at all. But I climbed, I competed, I traveled, and so on, which then played a little bit negatively in my CV later, and it took a little bit longer to find a job that I really liked. I had to change actually the target area or the industry that I was looking at because I had no experience. And the industry where I am now, at that moment, they didn't really look for many experienced people. They just needed people who can learn fast. And I basically got a bit lucky that the people who interviewed me saw that, and they didn't care so much about me not having experience in that field at all even. But they took me in because they saw other qualities. And that was the trade-off. So climbing was much easier back then, but climbing outdoors was harder because of the competition schedule. So now I go outside almost every weekend. Sometimes during the week in the evenings, especially in summer, the weather allows it. You can stay out till 9. That's pretty cool. You just get to the crag in the afternoon and then you forget that you had a work day before. You're like, oh, very cool. So yeah, I miss a little bit the flexibility. I still do what you call in Germany Gleitzeit, which means you are flexible, but still you're bound to meetings, you're bound to a certain schedule, you're bound to the office half the time. So it's not so easy.
It's like flexi time, but you have a kind of corridor where you have to be there.
Yes, so I try when I'm in home office, I live close to here. I try in home office to get like 2 hours, like a longer lunch break. Yeah. And then I come here, do a session in the midday when it's empty, and then go on with my day.
It's really interesting because I wouldn't have thought that kind of assumption, what you just said, like you ended up being more flexible and also used the gyms when it wasn't that busy. And now having a work life, you are bound to...
Yeah, I train less now. Yeah, I train less now than I trained when I studied full time. Yeah, it happens, but we share a place and no gym is big enough.
No, that's why outside is bigger.
And then you still come to sectors where it's like gym. I was in Castelwand last summer. Everybody was there. It was like 50 to 100 people at times.
If you go to Weissenstein, that's normally the case in Franken Europe. But the funny thing about Franken is there seem to be sometimes 1 or 2 or 3 years popular crags.
Yeah,
and then
it's like a trend. Yes. Yeah. At times I'm just alone. There was times where I was completely alone in Zwergenschloss.
Yeah.
And the other times there would be also like 30 people there.
Hey, did you feel normal at the time or only in hindsight? Does it feel like there was a lot going on at once, when you were studying and competing, or was it kind of okay for you?
Depends. At times I felt like I would be a better climber if I didn't study. And I would be a better engineer or an academic if I didn't climb or if I didn't compete. And I did take breaks from either. Like I was injured in 2019, so I only studied. Then I started working. Actually, I worked for 2 months as a working student because otherwise, I didn't have the time. So that was the time. And then it still kind of sucks because I crave the competitions. I mostly crave being fit in climbing. And I also did study breaks. Mm-hmm. I did 2 independent semesters of study breaks.
All right.
And they have brought nothing but distress. There's no distraction. It's just climbing. It's just the training. And it's so stressful. It's so much pressure that I've gone crazy. By almost the end of the semester. I couldn't wait to start studying again.
Because you were too focused on one thing?
Yes. It's just day in, day out. And you live alone. Like I did it at a time in a studio. And you just go to train.
Yeah.
You hang out with people a bit, but then you come home, you're all alone, and all you think about is climbing. And that's horrible. Like, I always need something else. And I also play music, so that's also, for me, another performance-oriented distraction that's not climbing.
Let me have a guess. Do you play the trumpet?
No. If I would play brass instruments, it would be a trombone. But
not a clarinet?
Maybe oboe.
Oboe.
Yeah, but I play viola. Mm-hmm. I started with violin when I was 11. 4 or 5 years later, I switched to viola. And I went to a music school in Serbia. And now I play in orchestras. I had some breaks when I started studying. It was a bit too much. But now I'm coming back to it and I really like it now. It's amazing.
That's so nice to hear. So you got different things to rely on, or just to keep yourself occupied. Yeah.
It's more fun that way.
Can you explain what these different types of worlds give you? I mean, what did climbing give you at that time? I mean, at that time, I don't want to say that, but looking back at the competition.
It is true. It's that time and this time. And the time before.
Okay, what time we're talking about now?
Well, the time before was when I was growing up, when I lived at home.
When
the competitions were still not all that serious enough, but I was still growing up and I was progressing rapidly. And as a family, we just entered this world of competitions without really having much experience with it. And it was all new, and we just looked how to achieve the goals of being the best in whatever the region is, whatever the competition is. It was always like, next step, what's next? And that was cool. It was a lot of exploration, a lot of traveling. The whole family just lived it together. And the senior stage was more serious, moving out of the home country, having coaches, still like traveling with parents and trying to combine everything together, and then studying as well. And then expectations get high because in the very first era, it was steady progress. I was getting really good, and it was always going up with small drops down. And then in the senior era, it's less consistent, more difficult. So many people are as good as you or better. And then that's more stressful because then finances come in, expectations from the people financing it come in, questions, why is it like this? It doesn't have to be bad, but it's always this, you have to defend yourself to someone, or you have to compete for your life, for your living, and even that living is barely enough for a normal life. So I think that second phase was much more stressful in that sense, whereas now I still have this craving of I like being fit, I like climbing hard, and when moves feel easy, it doesn't matter how old I am, what I'm climbing, but I want hard moves to feel easy, or like to have control over my body to climb what I set to climb. And that's still pretty cool. And now I have less consistency, sadly, but I still get some months where I get to enjoy that feeling, and it feels really great. And yeah, what every world brought something else. The early world brought a lot of adaptation, flexibility, just cultural knowledge, language knowledge, and learning to deal with people from different countries all over the world and different characters. The second stage was probably more beneficial in terms of this experience with people, because you have to work together with other people who are not your family, and then the things that are personal to your business to them, and then you get smacked in the face, figuratively, you get stabbed in the back, but you also get supported in ways that you would never expect. And these things just happen, and that's life. And then you learn how to trust and how to trust yourself. And that's very tricky, and that turns out to be very beneficial now for me at work, because I feel like I've emotionally grown from this whole life and moving places and living in different cities or in countries, that now I know how to deal with situations, know how to not get drowned by certain series of events, or not take personal certain things that many people would. And I can see it now that it's very, very beneficial. And then bluntly, yeah, you're a professional athlete, you're very disciplined. That's also one of the biggest things. You're like a working horse, People give you stuff to do.
In between the 25 hobbies, another one.
It's like,
and another
this
one.
has to be done. Then you do everything to get it done, even though you don't have to really.
But you left quite early. I mean, how old were you when you left?
Not really. I'm turning 29 now. I left
not now. When
27.
27. What are you leaving? What are we talking about right now?
Competitions.
I mean, Serbia.
Oh, Serbia. Oh, yeah.
We started with the family.
Oh, true. Sorry, my bad. So I left with 16.
Yeah.
I was even turning 16. I cannot even remember. 2014. Yeah, turning 17, basically. I finished high school in Slovenia. I went to an international program, international baccalaureate. I think that program is now more and more popular in Serbia, especially in Balkan countries. And then obviously it was not just school why I moved, but also training conditions, because at 16 I kind of started to hit the wall and not progress anymore. I couldn't train anymore there because we exhausted all knowledge and experience from all of us together, like from my parents and from myself, and there was no helping it really. It was bound to happen at some point. So we looked at options. Also, school was stagnating for me as well. It started being very not challenging, and I was bored and felt neglected in that sense, that I was not challenged enough in both areas. Therefore, we looked for opportunities, and we found this school in Slovenia, in Maribor, which fit very well for both areas and made it work. Trained with the Slovenian team, and I trained with Janja when she was very young at that time. She was still 14.
Ultra young.
When we met, and we trained together for like two years. That was also pretty cool. Very competitive, insanely competitive. We were like a team of 7 people, all similar age, between like 14 and 17, 18. And it was a hard fight, but very friendly. At times, of course, there would be like competition would take the worst side of us, and there would be tiny conflicts. So it would be like separation. One goes to one room, one to the other room, and we do not climb the same boulders. And now when I look back at it, it's really funny that it just came to that. But it was a really crazily motivating team, which now then with growing up and changing interests fell apart slowly. But I'm still in touch with most of the people, and I think almost everyone is still climbing, which is quite cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It sounds a little bit like like the Harry Potter story. You just end up going to Hogwarts, and then you just got all these.
And Janja is the Harry Potter, the chosen one, and I'm Hermione, who went the smart one.
Would you characterize yourself in that? Yeah,
probably. Yeah, the nerd, the big nerd. That was a very good growing experience for me, and I really liked it. Then it was uni. I thought I would go already abroad for bachelor's, but going to UK required a lot of money and visa and stuff, and I didn't have that at the time. Yeah, it was 10,000 a year.
Study fees, yeah.
Yes, and it made no sense. Like with my points, I could have gotten into Cambridge or Oxford. It was not the problem. That was the other part. And just the complexity. Where would I train there? What would I do there? Like, sure, for the academia would be great, but it's not kind of the life that I wanted. Would be a cool experience if I went for a year, maybe. I don't know. But I chose against it. I stayed in Slovenia because in Germany I would have had to do it in German, and my German skills at the time were not even close to what I would need. I did learn it in school, but you need at least B2. Yeah, so that's not possible. I stayed in Slovenia for the bachelor's, and that was a really good decision. Academic-wise, I learned a lot. I think I learned even more than in master's, like more broader knowledge. Than later it felt like repetitions, except for like some specific topics that really lit up. And then I started moving in those directions work-wise. Yeah, those 2 to 3 topics. So when the time came, when I finished the bachelor's, Slovenia also kind of saturated. Fallouts with, coaches, politics problems. It happens everywhere I go. So I was glad to move on. I still like going back. But for that time, it was not good for me anymore. Like I trained more in Graz in Austria than I was in Slovenia, because of like availability and so on. I think now the relationships are much better again, so I could still imagine that life now, but at that time it was like I hit the wall again, and when I hit a wall I need to move on. That has always been the case. That's how I moved to Munich. Master's program was in English, so I passed all the criteria. No big fees. I was also accepted in Sweden at Royal University in KTH, but they're also
how much?
30,000.
Oh God!
For the whole master's program.
You get a crown then, like a crown. Like
or
do you get just meatballs? Golden
above
meatballs.
everybody, and like 7,500 immediately.
That's crazy.
Prepayment.
Yeah. And
you apply for grants like a year before, and I didn't even know where I would go with a year before. So Germany was luckily it worked out. I first got accepted to Sweden, and I'm like, please accept me in Munich. I don't want to pay so much. I don't want to take a loan.
I end up having to sell a kidney.
Yeah, exactly. To be well, but my sister lives in Sweden, so that would have been easy. But still, like, I'm glad I got accepted in Munich at the Technical University, and moved there. And then Corona came, right?
But bam, and then stuck in Munich.
Then actually, I lived here in this gym for 2 months,
hiding.
Yeah.
Training,
cooking,
cleaning holds.
Working around here, vacuuming, route setting, testing, whatever needed to be done. We were like 5 people who lived in the gym.
Nice.
And the people who work here, they also would come, and then we would like do stuff in the gym, some renovations. Yeah, I slept here below in the kids area.
Is that why you know these rooms so well?
Yeah, I know everything here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
one
funny.
other person slept here, the other one in the yoga room, and some others like behind the walls and so on. But it was a very cool experience. I think my Corona time was more positive than most people's, because here we lived so in harmony. It was easy to plan everything, to cook, to do stuff. The chores were split. It's like, I couldn't believe that it's possible to live like that, because later on, when you lived in shared flats with anyone, it gets hard.
Yeah, it does, because a gym is a massive space for 5 or 7 people to live in.
Right.
It's a different
and you
story.
can go to Dutzendai, you can go to many places around to be alone. You could still walk in 1 or 2 outside, because you were not allowed to be in groups, like one household. And yeah, that was interesting, but it was a very wholesome experience for me. Like, I made some really nice connections. It was a break from the real world. And I met my current partner at the time. He used to set here as well. And now we live together here in Nuremberg. Yeah, that's very, very nice. Like, I made really nice connections, so I'm glad for Corona, because it showed me, that I can chill as well and not just be, in a machine 100% all the time. Yeah, I did prepare still for the qualifications for the Olympics at the time, because I was injured before, so I missed all the qualification opportunities. And that was the only one. And that thing got moved like 3 times. It was like, okay, it's going to happen 2020 April. And Corona came. It's going to happen in June. Corona is still here. And it's going to happen in September. And then in the end, it did happen in like November.
Yeah.
And I missed out by 3 points or something. So I was still pretty disciplined regarding that, and came in quite good shape to that competition. Probably best shape in that span of few years. But I could relax. I could extend my studies because of Corona. I didn't have to take 5 subjects in the semester or 6. I could take 2 to 3. I could drag it out a bit, which really helped me. So I studied instead of 2, I did 4 years of masters, and we could because of Corona. There was special conditions until a certain point. So that made it more chill, because TUM was very strict with exams, no sports benefits, nothing. If you don't come next semester, they don't care.
Yeah.
You're just a number. Whereas in Slovenia, it was different. You had sports status. You could write personally any exam. You could move any exam. I did my work, of course. We had midterm tests. So if you pass those well, you don't have to go to the exam. It was more flexible. But luckily, Corona helped me out.
That's what I want to do, actually move on to environment and shaping experiences. You lived in different environments, Serbia, Munich, and now around Nuremberg, or in Nuremberg. And you just mentioned that you started to talk about this. Do you feel those contexts have shaped how you deal with pressure or expectations also, like moving to different places?
For sure. But I feel like planning or thinking about moving again feels much more difficult now. Like any idea of moving to another place, I would be able to deal with it, but I don't look forward to it. I think because here I'm not saturated yet, and I'm still pretty new here. Like, I moved it to Nuremberg last year, January only. I was in Munich until then.
the climbing outside is so much.
Yeah, it's so much to do here. I can't even manage to visit all the cracks here. It's crazy. So also work is more and more interesting, more motivating, and I've found stuff to do that challenges me and makes me feel good. So that's why a move, if it would happen soon, would not be nice for me at the moment. But I think I am able to adapt to any situation, to any change. Take some time, like moving here. First year was a bit tough, not knowing so many people so well, right? Coming to work with complete strangers, complete new environment, area of work as well, the rhythm, and so on, and lacking this daily training with people, with a team, like more organized schedule. So it was on me to create my schedule. And I still struggle with it sometimes to catch some people, because I have my own schedule and most people have their own other completely different opposite schedule. And still a lot of people study around here that I climb with. So they have their own timings and it doesn't fit with me, or their work is when I am free and so on. But dealing with pressure, I am definitely seeing it at work. I'm able to meet deadlines. I'm able to function under stress really well. And that's helping a lot, definitely.
It seems like you are in a good place right now.
Yeah, seems like it too. It's pretty balanced. I still do miss Munich, and I miss my friends in Munich a lot. And I try to go there when I can, but sometimes it's a lot of effort after the whole life here to go there and to travel. And, Deutsche Bahn, it's happened way more than once.
That it doesn't drive the train.
That it cancels, or it takes an hour longer, or it gets stranded in Ingolstadt. It's not like I'm going to Serbia by train, I'm going to the nearest biggest city. But it still manages to be, sorry for my language, a pain in the ass.
How long did you stay in Munich, though?
5 years, I think. Yeah, 5.5 years, something like this. Long enough.
So life now, Stasa, what does a normal good week look like for you now?
Oh, not too much overtime. If I can manage to keep it under 39 is good.
Should we send this podcast to your boss as well?
He knows it. He knows that I do 9 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours, and then 5. I can't.
Because you want to go outside.
I just can't do it anymore. I wake up and then I just say, no, I have to sleep longer. I have to sleep my 8 hours. People in the office, they sleep 5 hours, 6.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have to sleep 8. I have to sleep 8.
What does feel meaningful in your life at the moment, apart from taking off work things and going climbing? I mean, you mentioned a few things. Have you got any other hobbies, any other things? You mentioned spending time with your partner. He's a climber as well.
He's a climber, but he's not really climbing anymore. He's more into running, hiking, exactly. So I tried to go more with him as well to those types of activities. He just went to Watzmann this weekend. To hiking, right? So that's his thing now. For me, it's a bit too scary. You read those articles every now and then. Todesunfall, this and this guy accident and so on. Please.
Which way did he go up?
I don't know. The Watzmannhütte and then the first peak. And they wanted to do the whole crossing, but it was super windy. Gusts more than 30 kilometers an hour. So they went back the same way. But
just give him a GPS tracker and you know where he is. But then you probably
would
you be stressing even more, maybe.
I think he would throw it out.
Real life tracking. Yeah, he would put it to a mountain goat and just
put it in his yogurt. So we go hiking every now and then together. I don't want to overly exhaust myself. I really like it, but it kills me. Really, I'm dead for 2 days, at least. We go running together because I'm into it too, and do some trail running, and it's pretty fun. We were in Greece this winter, and we did some trail running there. It was cool. There's no tourists, and the nature's nice, and it's not too cold. So that was pretty fun. And just also getting some chill time together. It's nice. I like playing music. I play viola. I went to music school as a kid and played in different orchestras and environments. And now I play in Collegium Musicum in Nuremberg. It's an amateur orchestra, but like a really good one. And I'm so happy to play with them. We played one concert in May.
Awesome.
And we have another one in 2 weeks. And that's super fun. It's just on my level, that it's challenging enough, and that everyone plays really well, and we kind of push each other up. And the conductor is also great. The team is nice. So that's also a very good feeling. My parents came to listen to the concert also in May. And I was very, very happy because they haven't heard me play in a long time, especially perform with an orchestra or solo. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it seems like you strike me as a person who needs that stimulus.
Yeah, I need some challenges. I like it, I need some kind of performance, but also just feeling confident in my skills is the base, not just in climbing, as I said earlier, to know I can do the moves and have the hard moves feel easy. The same is with viola skills and passages. Climbing in tune. Playing in tune is like climbing precisely, right? So it's all overlapping, and it's just the things that I like, finding them in different areas of life, and that's pretty nice.
I guess just hyperactive in a way, and wanting to experience the flavor of life.
Yeah.
In its different aspects.
Yeah, that's basically it. And without the pressure of having to be the best on a given day, I don't miss the feeling anymore, really. I think, like, I have a thought, maybe in lead climbing, I want to go back to the competitions, because I like this moment when you're alone with a route and you have one attempt and you have to give it all you have and that one go. And I would like to approach that with less pressure. Yes. So I might do some comps in the future, like European Cups and so on, because I like lead climbing more than I like bouldering at the moment. I feel like I got oversaturated with bouldering. I don't know. In bouldering, you can get any kind of boulder, and mostly likely you're not gonna like it. And
so like the nemesis of the Big Island, for example, like other places you've been, or you mean like
no, I mean competition.
Indoors? Oh,
I mean indoors.
Yeah.
Outdoors, you can pick your boulder.
Totally.
But it's still like my body doesn't like this, or I'm not able to get back to that level more like mentally, into having like maximum power, maximum power moves, explosive compression and stuff. I've gotten a little bit flaky, and I like my 50 moves. It's like I'm not the person with the most endurance now, but I enjoy it much more. It's much more fun than training this maximum power. I still do it, in routes you do have to have it, but it's not like if I have a bad day on a lead wall, on a lead route outdoors, my day isn't over. My day is not ruined. Like maybe that attempt or those 5 minutes will feel like shit because I cannot do one move. But overall, I'm happy that I'm doing moves that I can, do something else. And in bouldering, it feels like you're doing nothing. If you feel like a sack of potatoes, can't move. And I'm glad I switched to more rope, and that in Frankfurt I do more rope. I do still go bouldering every now and then, but it's like I get reminded why I'm doing rope. I'm not proud of it. I wish I can go over it, but I still can't. So maybe with time, in like 5 years, I will be able to go bouldering without feeling like a sack of potatoes, if I can do something. But yeah, lead is more appealing to me now. The way of training for it, and the way it feels when you climb, and the progress in it is nicer.
I am assuming that you just now in the control part of your life, where you can choose what you want, and you can.
I don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
and that's very nice. Where you don't have to do things. It's like you don't have to do that one boulder, or train that one technique, or go to this one competition, or do your absolute best today at 8 a.m. I just choose what I want to do. Sure, at work you have to do certain things, but still, it's not life-defining. It's not one chance to reach your goals and so on. So, yeah.
There was a post in February 2025 on your Instagram account where you kind of said, you talked about climbing hard boulders, but in your own time, without stress or comparison, with resting, with friends, playing. Was that, I mean, you did two deliberate posts in a way, quite reflected. Was that a way of saying, you know, like I'm choosing my own path, or what was it?
Definitely, because I was sick of it. I think, simply put, it just felt so forced, everything, and nothing. It's more that it didn't really go my way, and it felt like it never would. And you know this classical thing, just don't give up. Hard work pays off, and you know. But are you gonna like torture yourself for 10 years that it works once? I don't know, man. It worked for me before. And that's a trade-off. Like, am I gonna keep chasing this dream or not? Or is it enough what I've done? At that time, I felt like it wasn't enough. Now when I look back, I don't care anymore. It took a while to accept that. But it felt like it's not going the way I would want to do it. It's not going on my terms. The work that I was willing to put in and the work that I was putting in did not give the results that one would expect with the work and the progress that one saw internally. You come to the competition and then someone slaps a bunch of plastic holes on and it doesn't fit you. And it's not your thing. You've never seen the holes in your life. Someone else has trained on them. You've never seen these moves. Someone else did them in the gym, closed doors that you never had the chance to try. It became, in bouldering, a little bit of a like elitist thing. Which teams have the approach, or which individuals have the approach to things, and who got the doors closed to them.
And how would you? Is that the factors you just described? Like holds access to
that's
training
what
facilities?
Yeah. I got tired of having to beg people to let me train with them. I got tired of having to beg to be let into gyms at all, to try certain boulders that are chained or removed immediately by big teams that have paid money, you know, and because my federation consists of me, and it makes no sense to pay thousands and thousands of euros for me alone to train on this, when the other teams have, 5-10 people who can train on that. To be begging around and to be sleeping in like shitty cardboard apartments in Paris, to climb in gyms there and to beg to go to Karma and they close it off and stuff like this. It's just so degrading. And then you come to a comp, and then again you have route setters who set for these people and teams, and they get to practice. Like, it's not a problem for me to put in the work and go travel and be there, but it's like the availability of things. And then already everyone has an advantage. I could not overcome this advantage anymore. And the style also didn't fit my body anymore. 5 years ago, it fit my body much better. But no matter how much I trained, hired mobility coaches, did yoga, trained the same shitty moves that hurt my body over and over again, it got some improvement, but still other body types had more advantage. And it felt like things I was good at were never the deciding ones. There was a dyno, but it was so simple, everyone could do it. I mean, I think it also, the thing that happened was that the majority of boulders, female boulders, were of a certain size. And then the span between Aimori and Chloe Koskoi is almost double. Like, Chloe is, I think, the tallest woman on the circuit with the widest arm span. And I think Aimori could well be the smallest. And so these two women have to be able to compare their own strengths in the same boulder. That makes no sense to me. And it stopped making sense a few years ago already. And it became worse and worse. Because no matter how much the route setting adapts, it will never be fair. Because these two body types cannot effectively compete in bouldering. In lead, yes. In lead, it's much different story. Bouldering became like a lottery. You can see it now even in World Cups, that people who went to the Olympics do not make semifinals. The next comp they win. Again, something throws them out. And you can't make a living like this. And I am not regretting it. Every time I go to watch a comp, I'm so happy I don't do it anymore. People ask me, does it pull you? And I say, no, not at all. I like watching men's bouldering more because I feel like they're evolving in terms of strength and coordination. And I feel like women's bouldering is just becoming more and more uncomfortable and more weird. I don't know. And because I used to compete with them, it doesn't interest me at all. With the men's comp, I always enjoyed watching it more because it's not my world, it's their world. And it's fun to watch. And I feel like they get challenged in a different, better way than women do in terms of setting. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. And now it's on my terms. I, of course, wish I could work less and climb and train more and be better. And I still have times when I compare myself to others, but now I cherish others more than I compare with them.
It seems like you came a long way from.
It's healthier, way healthier. I don't have the exposure. I may not be climbing the hardest grades ever, and it's a big thing on Instagram, and everyone reposts it or whatnot. I'm still struggling to find a good routine, and I still want to be in shape, and yeah, I want to do hard routes, but if it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world. I'm challenging myself. I'm not doing it for publicity or Instagram or popularity or world records.
We might break the world record in the longest podcast.
No, who knows?
No.
I said I won't talk too long, right?
Jam crack. Niall Grimes usually cracks the longest podcast length. He sometimes does 2 hours.
How long have we been doing this?
That's only 45 minutes, I think.
Oh, that's fine. And we have the kids running.
That's okay. We are in a gym after all. Hey, I mean, you expanded quite a lot. I mean, this is a lot of reflection, obviously, like, and a lot of kind of like getting to terms with how you perceived stuff even whilst competing, and then transitioning out of it. And I'm really happy for you that you're considering even like doing lead again, but with a different mindset, maybe with a different approach and with a different energy. But what I find interesting is also, like, I think competition climbing in general is growing. Also with kids, you know, and with the German Alpine Club, DAV, and I was belaying in Forchheim a few months ago. There was this quali. There was a quali, exactly. And what do you think young athletes often underestimate? If you look back at your kind of like career, if you want to, your career, you've seen a lot. Could you give some advice?
I think kids nowadays are more prone to overtraining than we were. I think they're pushed harder than we used to be. Of course, they climb much better. What Youth A kids climb now in Boulder is what we climbed in World Cups 7 years ago. So, obviously, it's growing. But we have a girl in our Serbian team who had this growth plate fracture. And she won a bunch of medals, European champion last year. Amazing talent.
Yeah.
But overtraining, finger pain, training through pain. Coach says you gotta go. Yeah. More and more kids have growth plate fractures, which in my age was not a thing. I only heard about it a few years ago. And at that time, we barely did any campus boarding. We barely did any finger training. We just climbed. Sure, we climbed a lot, but there was no specific training. Only after 16, you kind of start doing it. And I think now they start way earlier.
Yeah, so strength-based training and specializing.
And the amount of time spent training. Much more aggressive training, and the moves are difficult and risky. much more than we did. When I was 16, I only then started bouldering, actually. And now kids start bouldering earlier. I did lead until 15. And then I gained a bit of weight. It was puberty. I lost endurance. And then I tried bouldering. And then I realized I can gain strength very fast. So that's how I switched. Because endurance was gone for me at that age. And nowadays, kids start bouldering with 10. So, yeah, they get... stress fractures. Still, eating disorders are still a thing in kids because we still have competitors, especially in lead, that are absolutely underweight, and they are being celebrated as champions of all kinds. I'm not going to name. And people look up to them still, besides all the talking, besides all of the stuff that we did in my generation to try to pull them out of that. It's still a big thing. It's still a big
seems
problem.
like the rock star phenomenon, like Amy Winehouse, just some things are going not well, but there is this kind of atmosphere of, I don't know, ignorance, or maybe it's not even ignorance, it's hard even to explain.
Yeah, I guess it is what it costs, but if you do it at 15, I mean, you're really dead by 25. You're a sack of bones that can't do anything. I mean, I look at cyclists and these trail runners. Sure, they're all very skinny, but they are like high endurance sports. They do this sport for hours and hours without stopping at high level. And in climbing, you're climbing for 6 minutes on a route, and you climb for 3 hours with rests. So there's no excuse to be so skinny, right? Because the sport is like that. It's disgusting as well to me. It's horrible, and because I don't like that it still gets supported, it still gets excuses. That it's like, oh, I have stomach problems. Come on. Yeah.
No, I appreciate your openness about this topic because, there have been a few people also, also you were in was it in the IFSC, in the athlete commission?
Yeah, I was in the athlete commission. Yeah. I was helping out the medical commission as well prior to that. And it's like you try to do things, but in the end, you can only do so much because if you overstep it, the federation gets sued because there is no ground to disqualify, technically. There are tests. We all do tests. But then, still now, you can get disqualified kind of under certain circumstances, but I think there was still no disqualification happening since this rule was implemented. I don't know if it brought any health or did it improve the health? I don't know. We don't have the statistic. But it's hard to judge as well. So, I don't know. I was one of the pioneers of the movement of let's talk about it. Then I realized it's not going anywhere. Everyone wants to talk about it. It's like you're repeating yourself. Nothing works. And not because people are turning heads. The organization actually did what they needed to do. But in the end, it's the parents, coaches, and athletes themselves who turn their heads.
I guess it's with many things, even with mental health, there's a stigma, people know about it, but I think to open the door, there needs to be it needs to be named, first of all, to even bring it into the arena.
Sure, you need strict rules, but it's going to be a long time until we get to the point of really eradicating it.
And it's not up to us.
Yeah, no, not up to me at all.
That's tough to say.
No, but to get back, I really wish the kids today would go more outdoor climbing. They're becoming gym rats because they grow up in gyms. I grew up mostly outdoors and parallelly. Kids today are not keen to go outside. They do it just for achievements, to climb a grade, to climb a route. And don't know how to behave in the nature, don't know how to treat the environment. They're overly stressed with their competition performance, and they get injured. So I think they need to chill a bit.
Coming from Stasa Gejo.
Yeah, really.
How did you chill when you were 14 or 16?
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah,
Sorry, it's fine.
It is really like
It's
I
puberty
didn't
as well.
chill.
No,
It is.
just-
I was stressing
God,
out as a
no.
kid too.
I think it's normal also in
But
that
I
age.
think the load they have is way more than I had as a 14-year-old.
Do you mean with the competition and the indoor? And
Pressure
the
and
pressure?
training load,
Yeah.
both. They have more than I did.
Word.
Mm.
So, what's happening outside with you? You said you went to Castellland, you said you went to Hirschbachtal in Frankenjura. It seems like you're enjoying the lead climbing right now.
Yeah, it's more fun. For me, it's really good. I go now Schlafenland, Zergenschloss, Hengederstein. I have some open projects.
Yeah, Hengederstein.
Hengederstein is good.
Bad cat.
I did that one.
Well
I did
done.
that one. Now I'm trying to get back into like
Mm-hmm.
the style of the sector. I tried Sick Boy, I don't know, some months ago, and I might try Sever the Wicked Hand or do the Battle Cat Sick Boy connection. I can just turn the sector over.
It's a nice crag.
Oh, I love it. It's
a
one
cool
of the
place.
longest.
Yeah,
It's
true.
so fun.
Well, Stasha, thank you so much.
That's it.
I think that's
all,
fine.
folks,
I think why not?
Fine.
We can do it longer, but I'm quite happy.
Yeah, sure.
Anything else you want to add?
No, just that's it. That's me now.
I'm happy that you found a place where you feel like you have some anchorage and you're actually exploring and you still got space to explore. And I'm happy that you got a what do you call it? Orchestra, ein Orchester.
Yeah.
Some Violine spielen.
Yeah, Bratsche. Bratsche is a German word.
Oh, is
Or
it really?
viola.
Oh, sorry, that's why I was confused.
Geige is violin, and Bratsche
You
is...
spiel Bratsche. Let me just Google Bratsche, man, because my classical...
It's a funny name.
Bratsche.
Yeah, what can I say? It's good to grow. It's good to grow, and looking back, it's a lot of, bitterness in the last couple of years, and I don't like that my life was like that. And a lot of my exposure was bitter and angry and sad and so on. And that's not the closure that I want. I'm not saying this interview is my closure. But I'm glad that I could get out of it. And I want the world to see that there is life after comps. Because I think a lot of people are just... They are scared of a normal life. They're scared it's going to be boring. It's going to be horrible. I'm going to be unfit. And you don't have to be unfit. You can do other stuff. You can still be fit. But you take care of yourself. And that's my important message now to the ether.
The ether of whoever is listening.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's beautifully spoken.
Thanks.
I wish you all the best.
Yeah.
Keep up
Same
the
to you.
spirit.
Thanks.